Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of the YouTube Business Academy podcast. My name is George. I'm joined by my co-host Ron, and today we are going to discuss our journey to $10,000 a month with YouTube automation. There's a lot of things going on. The RPMs have been nerfed. YouTube is cracking down on repetitive and reused content. There has been some updates on the reappealing for your monetization requirements. And the most exciting thing, Ron is onto something and he is about to crack the code for what makes a video go viral and how to really scale a channel. So I think it's going to be super interesting, this conversation. We were just talking before this podcast and I was like, Ron, stop. We got to start recording because this is so much fun. But yeah, you started a new channel, didn't you? Huh?
Yeah. So I have my search channel, of course, and search is growing as always because it's steady.
Yeah.
Everybody knows it. So that's been growing on the background, and I started like a browse channel I think 6 months ago.
How much is search making now?
600 a month. Not really. We'll talk about it later. Why? Because we came across a realization why it's not as high as we hoped.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically my previous browse channel was mostly built from scratch, where I was looking to build my own audience because it was basically a documentary style videos.
Yeah.
And I wasn't
kind of like Magnus Media.
Yeah, but of course not as high in terms of editing. By the way, Magnus Media, his account will probably get deleted.
What?
Crazy, because he got like a copyright strike from the channel Business Casual. I don't know if you know it.
Okay.
He used like an image for like 1 second that was also in a video of Business Casual, and Business Casual copyrighted Magnus Media, like strike them.
What?
And you can check it out. It's on his channel. It's crazy. He's like, he just did a community post like, hey guys, my channel is probably going to be terminated in 2 days. It's really crazy. And this is also like a YouTube thing. Like YouTube is like, it's way too harsh with those copyright strikes, because it doesn't make sense, because the video that the image was being used of Magnus Media is like 55 minutes long. He makes everything himself. And the video that the image got stolen from is like 14 minutes, and it's not even stolen. The image is highly edited and transitions are edited. So it's really crazy. But yeah, that was a small sidestep. But yeah, it was like a browse channel where you built up your own audience. And to begin with a browse channel for YouTube automation, without having like already a channel that's generating a lot of cash flow, it can really be a money pit, because it's like a long-term strategy if you consider building your own audience.
Not many people talk about this, because a lot of people talk about like get started for $0, and we also like talked about it because it's like clickbaity and people want to know that. But what you're saying right now, that it can actually cost a lot of money to start.
Yeah, like I didn't realize it, but you really need to pick your strategy in the beginning and like decide, okay, what's my budget? How much money do I have to spend? Okay. If you're going to in a documentary style video, you want to build up an audience, which takes way longer than what I'm doing now with a new browse channel that I have like for 10 days. 10 days ago I started it, but I'm more leveraging current trends, like current audiences from existing channels that have videos that already performed well. And I'm basically making the same type of videos. So I'm like stealing audiences from videos that are already doing well, which is much easier because you're not starting from scratch. For the long term, of course, like building really your own audience is way more powerful. But I think in the beginning stage, you need to use as many leverage as possible because you're a beginner and you're just starting out.
When you say that you're stealing an audience, what do you mean by that?
Like I picked a niche that got like crazy amount of views, and I saw like certain type of videos working really well because they're really interesting to a specific audience.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, the angle of these videos, I can reformat that in my own interesting way. That way that it will still resonate with the audience that are also watching the videos I saw. So the videos are unique, but like the angle, the type of curiosity it generates is the same, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So
you're leveraging basically existing success.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I've seen already way more growth with that way than like my
Yeah.
documentary style.
And can I say
Content.
something? Because like you were, I think this is very interesting and very important as well for everyone listening and watching. And this is what I learned from you because obviously I know everything that's going on your side, like most of it, right? And I know what you said before, like the channel and what you're doing now with this new channel. And I think one of the biggest differences that you actually learned from the guys, I think, when you were in Bali right now, is actually the idea of having a very clear understanding of who you're targeting with your audience,
Yeah,
and that translates into the type of titles you're doing and like the interest that those people have, because
yeah,
with the previous channel, the previous videos, to me just seemed like, oh, like this works for someone else, so I'm just gonna do it as well. But now you're like, not only are you doing that, but you're also like, okay, I know exactly, I have like a very clear picture in my head of who is the type of person who wants to click. And I think this translates into like crazy high CTRs, because you were showing me some of your
yeah,
CTRs, and they're like 20%, which is like, yeah. And the AVD
yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
Between 15 to 20%, and like before on my different channel, my documentary style channel,
Yeah.
like I was struggling to get like 8%
Yeah.
CTR or even 6. But like it's completely different. But what I was saying, like documentary style channels can work, but it just takes a lot longer. And
Yeah.
it's just better to have a cash flow, like a cash flow business or
Yeah.
channel
Yeah.
next to your documentary style channel, because then you're not so as reliant. And what you said about the audience, that's correct, because I told you before, like I literally have an audience now in my mind because I know what type of content they watch, and I just ask ChatGPT, "Hey, this is my audience. They live here. This is their age. This is their education level.
Exactly.
Maybe these jobs they're doing. What does this audience like? What's their interest? Like, what do they like
Yes.
to watch?" And then
Yes.
you say, like, I have some ideas here. Do they match? And ChatGPT is like, oh yeah, they match, but you can also maybe do it about this, or so you get a lot more better understanding of the people that are watching.
Exactly. Because the more clear you're targeting, like the better you have the understanding, the better it's going to work. And I think, honestly, I think this is one of like the biggest breakthroughs you had in like the past, whatever, 6 months or whatever, is like having that understanding and like knowing exactly, okay, they live in this country, in this states, or whatever, and they're
Yeah,
this old, and this is their interest, and da 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 da, and then from that building on top, and also looking at the same time, okay, what are similar channels, what are they doing, right? And then structuring the titles and the thumbnails, and dude, I'm just really excited to see this channel. i'm,
yeah,
I'm not
but
sure if it's gonna go like
me
work or
neither.
not. We will
Me neither. I,
see.
I, gi- I give myself 2 months, 2 to 3 months,
Okay.
because I also like I also don't want to blow as much money as the documentary channel
Yeah.
one. But yeah, it sounds really simple because I've heard the phrase like many times before, months ago. Focus on your audience, understand your audience, and like for now, for me, it really clicked because I picked my audience in the beginning, then I made certain things around it, and I now see a very high CTR and view duration.
Yeah.
So now it's basically confirmed that I'm in the right direction, and
Hmm.
that's a nice feeling because from there you can like get more ideas, and you like you now know where to look for. Basically, you're
Yeah.
not looking in the dark anymore. The light is on, and you're like you can I'm going that way.
Yeah.
So that's the
Yeah.
biggest difference, I
Exactly.
think.
Yeah. It's very. It's. I mean, whether you're doing e-commerce or YouTube, I think that's. And you know how they do like in business, they have these practices where they are like customer avatars,
Yeah.
or like customer interviews, and they go ahead and they actually like interview who are their customers. But I'm talking about like these like big conglomerates, and then because it's then you can talk their language, and if you can better talk their language, then you can better appeal to their interests and wants and desires and
Yeah.
and needs and that. But dude,
That is
super
crazy. But
super interesting.
what about you? Because you also made some changes the last weeks.
Yeah, I made some changes. So I mean, I never had a browse channel outside of my main one. I started my search channel 1 year ago, I mean, I started it kind of as a browse, but I switched very quickly because, like we talked about, I started in the make money online niche, but then I switched to a search after I met, Yuri Hessel and the guys, and they were like, yeah, I mean, we do it like this. And I was like, okay, I got it. Now I'm going to do it like this as well. Um, but recently, the changes that I've done is I started much more seriously looking into the keyword research and like finding topics that where I can rank. Okay. And I'm starting to better understand what makes you rank for a specific topic. For example, like there are many different criterias and it becomes second nature the more you do it because I was like observing Hessel when he was at my place here and like I was like, okay, dude, do keyword research. I'm gonna look how you do it. So I got like kind of a one-on-one thing. And the way he did it was super interesting. And then when he was finding a topic and he was putting into like a list, I was like, wait, but why is that? And he's like, oh, that's simple, because look, when I search it up, this is the channels that are ranking for them. This is how many subscribers they have. This is how many views. This is when they were posted. Da 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 da. And I was like, oh, okay, you know what I mean? So now I'm starting to slowly like understand as well. Okay, you know, I look up a keyword and I'm like, okay, what are the first 5 videos that are ranking for it? How closely matched are they with the actual keyword? Like how is this SEO part in the title and in the description? Now, what is the channel authority? I mean, are they verified channels or are they not verified? That's the first thing. Okay, they're not verified. Click. How many subscribers do they have? Okay, how is the thumbnail looking? Can I make a more appealing thumbnail? How many overall videos there are for this specific keyword? I copy, paste the keyword, Command F or Control F on Windows. Boom, I see, okay, there are only like, 1 or 2 videos with that specific keyword in the title. And then based on all this information, I make a decision whether to do that keyword or not. And I've seen some pretty, pretty good growth with that. Once I started taking it like very seriously, and once I started like really doubling down on this kind of keyword research approach, my channel grew from like €2.5 a day to like €8.5 a day in a matter of 2 weeks,
Yeah,
which is
that's
like
crazy.
insane, like almost
For
300%.
search is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, and like 300%. But the reason you need to understand for that is because I found some like really amazing keywords. So I don't want to give away. I really want to like tell to everyone, but I'm just afraid that like if I tell right now, you guys are all gonna make this video that I have, and it's going to like I'm gonna start sharing my traffic with you. So I don't want to share my traffic with you, but
Yeah. But I used your tool and I immediately saw how you got your topic. Yeah. It's
yeah,
a
you
good tool
saw
though.
that. You saw
Yeah.
that, dude. I can tell. I can talk about this tool. I don't care. I don't want to just reveal the video itself, but I used a tool called data.ai. Okay, search it up. It's really good for. It's basically like all the different apps and websites and their data, how many downloads they're getting, and stuff like that, right? And once you're in this thing, you're gonna start seeing, okay, there's like something new is coming up, it's being heavily advertised, and then a lot of people are searching for it. And I was so lucky. I looked it up and I was like, oh, there's no videos for this. And then I put the how-to thing extension at the end of it, of the keyword, and I was like, oh, there's no one for this. So then I make like 3 videos or something for it, dude. And right away I rank. Like, I'm not even kidding. If you look at the analytics, I rank in a matter of like, I don't know, 5 hours, 6 hours. I just start getting views right away. Like, it ranks in search and I start getting, because this is you need to understand. Like with economics, supply and demand, same thing on YouTube. Like, if you find a keyword that has a lot of demand and not enough supply, you are gonna get part of that traffic if you make a good video. That's what I learned. I can also give you spitting value. Let's go. I can also give you another topic right now that is super like popular right now. What has been on everybody's mind in the past 6 months?
Yeah.
AI,
Everything
Chat
AI. Yeah.
GPT, whoa, 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 wee, whoa. Like everyone is talking about it, but trust me when I say it, there is not enough content around that. I was working today on my personal brand channel for like good quality videos around different topics that I'm pretty certain I'm going to rank and I'm going to get search traffic for the next very long time. Now, another thing I want to emphasize, and I think this is going to lead us to this conversation about like RPMs and
Yeah.
channels being, having this whole thing about ad types, and we'll get to that. But some of my videos, well, I have a couple of my videos on my main channel that have been ranking for like 3 years and they're going strong, and they've made a lot of money. Some other videos, they rank for a little bit and then they flatline. You know what I mean? And I think this is a conversation between like quality and quantity, or just like quality in general. For example, the videos I'm making right now for the AI search terms, like I made a couple right now and I'm going to do more. I want to make them really good because I know this search term is going to be searched a lot in the next, 5 years, 5 years to come. And because I'm early to the game, I want to make sure that I make a really good video, not like good in terms of like, effects. Like you don't need to have that, I think. It just needs to be like clear,
Value.
concise, and straight to the point, right? And not like a $1, outsourced that delivers absolutely no value video. That's, I think, one of the biggest changes that has been happening. Like, don't get me wrong, I still have my second channel where I'm still posting like, low quality videos, kind of with like, a person with a really strong accent in English and like, maybe basically low value video, right? And I think it still can still work if you find a good keyword. And I have videos that are ranking like that. But if you want to make a strong video, right, and you're early, like for example, with the AI right now, there's a lot of key, like search terms, by the way, a lot of topics you can do. You can stay there for a very long time if the video is good because the viewer is going to decide eventually. Like, think to yourself, if you're a viewer, right, and you're going to click on a video that is like a $2 video and there's like no face, very strong accent, you can't understand half of it, it's slow, it's like you skip around and blah blah blah, and you're like, oh fuck this, I'm just gonna, you go back and then you click on another video and this like boom, in this video I'm gonna X, Y, and Z, jump straight in, step one, step two, step three, like it's gonna be like, okay, this is actually helpful and works. And I think, and also this reminded me, I was thinking the other day about like a Warren Buffett saying, it's like in the short term, the market is a voting machine, but in the long term, the market is a weighing machine. So if you focus, like in the long run, value is going to win every time. Sure, we have guys right now who are blasting volume, I did a podcast the last week with the guy. He's doing like 1,500 videos a month or something crazy like that, bro. He's like, yeah, like, he's paying, like he has a whole system. And sure, like he's growing like crazy. He's in 6 months, he scaled to like 2.5K in revenue and he's growing like crazy. But in the long run, value wins. And value is like focusing on, like in this case, like solving the actual problem and providing the actual solution and showcasing this. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been working on search videos on my channel. I have an editor now. I have a team that are doing the second channel outsourced as well. So I'm just focused on search, man. It's a long game, but it's a beautiful game.
It's just, yeah, it's a steady game. Like it's
it,
not like with browse that like you make a video
yep.
and with browse it like die out like in weeks. And with search it's like pretty consistent. So that the energy you put in, you get it back for a long time.
Yeah, and
So that's
that's what
good.
I
But I
really
think
like.
yeah, but I also think in terms of the search videos, like more and more people are starting a search channel, which is fine. But I think eventually everybody needs to go up in quality.
That's
And
exactly that, and I
yeah,
feel that, dude. I feel that, like I'm step ahead, and like while everybody is like starting these like shitty channels with like blasting out videos with like poor quality, I'm gonna be like, you know what? Let me take the different approach. Let me take like, I'm gonna spend a little bit of more money and time and energy on like this video, but it's gonna be good, and I'm gonna outrank for the in the long term. You know, the
Yeah,
ROI
but
is
I
higher
think
in the
you
long
can
term.
still outsource high quality videos. You just need to find
Yes.
a guy that maybe wants to record his face or has like not a strong accent.
Mm.
Then it will be fine.
Yeah, like
But yeah,
the
yeah,
guys in the space have been upgrading their voiceovers as well.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I've
yeah.
been checking their channels, and they're doing their this like higher, like it's getting tougher. The competition is getting tougher, you know, because
Yeah, but
like
you can already see it. Like also when I'm doing keyword research, like there's at least a couple people already that made a video about like a lot of keywords. Like
yes,
it's getting more and more difficult. You need to use more tools. Need to be more creative
yeah,
with the
definitely,
keyword research. So
definitely. But this leads us to the conversation about what happened in November.
yeah, yeah. Like I started in November, so I didn't see any difference.
Yeah,
But it's mostly like the advertisement type I'm getting on my videos. Like you
yeah,
have a couple. You have the skippable ads, non-skippable ads,
yeah.
display ads,
Bumper
and I think
ads.
bumper ads. Yeah,
So basically, what happened, to give you a little bit of context, is, oh, okay, no one knows exactly what happened, but, and this is a little exercise that you can do as well. Go to analytics, go to revenue, uh, click see more, then click on more with the little arrow drop down, and then select ad type on the top. When you click ad type, you're gonna see, and then you can see like for 28 days, for 90 days, and then you're gonna see like all of the different ad types that we just kind of said, the skippable, the bumper ads, and then see the percentage breakdown of how much each of those generated. So for example, let's say you make, you know, whatever, €100, right? How much of that is generated by skippable ads? How much of that is bumper ads and all the rest? And here is what is interesting. On my main channel, that was, you know, I monetize it in a proper way. You know, I've been like doing very clean content for a long time, and just the channel is very clean and healthy, right? Internally, the skippable ad percentage is 93%. Hessel, his channel, he did the same way, monetized in a proper way, 95 or like higher percent than that. Yuri, same thing. Now, my second channel that was botted, you know, that basically means that I bought subs and watch time, and I monetize like that. Up until the 16th of November, the skippable ads were also the majority of the ads. And then what's happened is very interesting. The RPMs and the CPM dropped, and skippable ads started becoming less. So now my skippable ad is anywhere from like 30 to 35%. So only one third. Whereas on my main, like I said, is like 93%, which is like the majority, right? So basically, my theory, and like this is not just what happened to me, this is what happened to a lot of the guys. Like you, right? Me.
no, no, not for me, but like my skippable ads percentage is really low.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have like a significant drop anywhere. It's
Yeah.
actually steady, but the percentage is really low.
Yeah.
So it's like around 40%,
Yeah.
something
And
like that.
also, like the RPM is very low, no matter what topics you do. It's like,
Yeah, that's true. I actually made a change like 2 months ago to publish more like longer videos, like 8 minutes plus, to get a higher revenue, like a higher RPM average on my channel to get more revenue. But those longer videos, they didn't even have like higher RPM than my short videos, so I
yeah.
quit doing them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's weird because yeah, this way it takes way longer to like make a decent amount from
Yeah.
the channels.
And I did an experiment, by the way. I posted, yeah. So coming back to this thing about search channels, like I can guess that if you're doing a search channel, your RPM is probably $1.50. That's my RPM. That's Ron's RPM, roughly one and a half, 1.7, whatever. Now, the other guys who started much earlier, they have an RPM of $4. That's almost 3 times higher.
That's
I mean,
crazy. Yeah.
that's four. That's three, 3 times higher. You know what I mean? So with the same amount of views that I'm getting right now, they're making like 3 times more money, which is like, okay, you know. And then I did a little experiment because I was observing this. And Alexi, with whom we did a podcast last week, he was the one who kind of brought my attention to this whole thing. I posted a very similar video on my main channel to what I was kind of doing on my second channel. And the RPM, I kid you not, is like $5. So it's literally like 3, 4 times higher
That's
as well.
crazy. Same length, like 1 minute video.
No, it's not one. It's like slightly longer, but I think topic matters
Under
a
8.
lot. Yeah, under 8 basically.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
but the idea here is that, you know, it's the rules of the game are changing. And you need to,
Yes. Or what I also heard today in a Discord channel, like people have seen their RPM increase after like 6 months to a year. It can also be like that YouTube is looking at certain channels, like, okay, how long are you posting? And they're like maybe grading your channel in terms of how healthy it is, how much views you bring in, what kind of
yeah,
audience you attract. So maybe like your channel is pretty old, your main channel,
yeah,
or search channels are not that old. I have no
yeah.
idea if that's the case, but maybe over time you can grow your channel into a more healthy one. But I have no
Dude,
idea.
I think it is because, like, you know, YouTube wants to build like a very kind of healthy like community, right? And they want to keep like abusers of the systems away, right? Which is good, right? And I think they have like a very rigid internal way of grading these channels, like you said, like, you know, how healthy, how clean the channel is. And yeah, basically what this means for you is that, like, not every channel is not equal, way not equal. Like
Yeah.
if it's a brand new channel, you're going to be limited in terms of your impressions, in terms of like everything, you know what I mean? If like my channel is super aged. Like I posted my first video on the channel like ages ago. You know, I've had my Gmail for a very long time, you know, and then like I started posting consistently like 3.5 years ago, right? And I was building up the audience and the views and everything like very like properly, like as you would imagine, you know, without the whole YouTube automation space, just like doing it myself. So yeah, internally, I think my kind of main channel is very clean, but the second one, yeah, I think because of like the whole kind of, you know, buying the subs and the watch time, I don't know, dude. I think like it's still monetized, right? But you need to understand that not channels are not equally equal. It's like sure you can be monetized, but that doesn't mean that you have the same RPM as other channels in the same niche.
Yeah.
You can be
Even with the
doing,
same topics. Yeah.
yeah, say you can be doing same topics. Like take two identical channels, you can be doing same topics, but if one channel internally is healthier than the other, is gonna have a higher RPM.
Yeah. But yeah, it's weird. I don't know. It's we'll see. Maybe it will improve over time because my I do know like my RPM is increasing, but not by a lot. But
No.
it's going up. Like first it was like $1.25,
Yeah.
and now it's like 160.
Yeah.
So it is going up, but not as much.
Yeah, but what I'm noticing is that like even the like we talk about like high RPM topics, right? Even the high RPM topics on the channel that is like not healthy don't get the same RPM. Only like it's so complicated. Like I was watching this video the other day. I sent it to Hessel how like the YouTube algorithm works, right? And it's by Answer the Public or something. Answer, I can't remember the channel, but it's like a 47-minute video, and he explains, or he not explains, but he goes into like YouTube algorithm and he looks at the history of YouTube and like of the like how the algorithm even came to be about. Dude, did you know that in the beginning they were placing videos on the homepage manually? There was a manual review, and
It's a
they
lot
would
of work.
and if the person who did it liked the video, he would put it on the homepage, and that was the one that got views. How crazy is that? And
Yeah.
then as more videos, and they introduced that, and then they introduced like a personalized homepage, and that's where we go into the whole route of kind of like where we are today. But I noticed another very interesting thing. So I posted a video on my second channel that is like super high RPM, okay? Like comparing banks, okay? Let's just put it like that. Comparing like banks, okay? Like, I mean, how much higher can you go than that, right? The person who's looking at a video who's comparing banks, he's obviously in the market for a bank, right? And banks are willing to bid a lot of money to get you to be their customer, because the lifetime value of a customer in a bank is probably like, they know their numbers, right? Obviously. But this is what's interesting. So this video, if you look at the RPM graph, it goes like, it starts flat for like the first 1, 2, 3, 4 days. And then on the fourth day, it has like a little increase. And then it performs well. The next day it goes a little bit down. Then the next day it goes up again. And then it goes a little bit down again. So it's kind of like testing almost if this video, like testing a video for a specific audience. And then it goes up, it has positive signal, goes down the next day, and then it goes even higher. And then so it kind of goes like ching, 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 like
Yeah.
this, So it's like
But that's
testing.
normal for RPM.
Yeah,
It goes up and down. Yeah.
no, but mine is like going like up, up, like, you know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
one of the things is like, one of the reasons why I think making high quality videos is important is because you set yourself up for a higher RPM and for more success. This video went from an RPM of like from RPM of like 1.72 euro on the 26th of April to now the RPM is 20 euro in a
Yeah.
matter
So,
of
but it is possible then on that channel,
in
like
a
because that's
matter
the unhealthy channel, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. But this is what I'm
Yeah. So
noticing.
that's weird.
It's an
Yeah.
unhealthy channel, but the video, I made it myself. It's a good video comparing like online banks, and you can see the RPM.
But then we can conclude that maybe it's not the channel; it's the video, the individual video, because that's a high RPM on the channel.
The channel RPM is low itself, but I have,
Yeah, but like that video,
yeah, that
it so
video.
it, like it is possible to get a high RPM on that channel.
Yeah, I think, yeah, it is possible, but on each individual video. So like if each individual video is like of really good quality, I think then it's gonna bring in a good RPM and a good
Yeah,
the
so
video.
yeah, the video quality is maybe more important because I also have some videos with like a high RPM, but
Yeah,
like 99% is low.
yeah, because the quality is not that good, or
Yeah, they're pretty basic videos, but still the other one with the high RPM is the same. It's the same style. So yeah, but the topic is of course better.
yeah, so like higher RPM topic.
Yeah, like for example, also banks. If I check a video for banking, 57 seconds long, RPM is $9.65.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's a very short video. So it's much higher than my channel average. So
yeah,
yeah, but the video itself is not special.
yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
But even this video that I'm talking about, still the split between ad types is pretty shite.
Okay.
Because if I would have posted this video on my main channel, I would have had like 90+% skippable. Here,
And then you would
skippable,
have like a RPM of like 90 or something or
yeah,
100.
probably.
Yeah.
Here, skippable is 27%, and RPM now averaged out to 8.5 euro since published. So it's like,
Yeah, okay.
nah.
So still the skippable ads is really low. That's
Yeah,
like the main.
skip ads is very low, and that's what makes like, yeah, that's the biggest problem, because those are important. Those are like what is where the money is.
Yeah. It's difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only way is by testing it between different channels,
Yeah.
like the older channel and a newer channel.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. But anything else to add? Anything on your mind?
Um, yeah, not really. I think we're both like growing our channels in
Yeah,
different
man.
new ways, and we'll keep
Yeah.
everybody updated through this podcast and in Discord community, of course.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Join
so and if
Discord.
you're yeah, join our Discord, and we also have like a monthly mastermind session with a closed group.
Yeah.
So if you want to know more about YouTube, connect with like-minded people. Like for example, last week we had a call. We set our goals like for the upcoming within 3 months,
Yeah.
and we are keeping each other accountable, learning from each other. So if you're like maybe feeling that YouTube is a lonely journey, feel free to contact us to join the mastermind. It's a monthly call,
Yeah.
and you can join motivated people and yeah, talk about YouTube basically.
We'll basically be your online friends
Yeah, so
who
you can
do
buy friends.
you can buy friends who do the same thing as you really want to do. Like if you see a lot of value and potential in YouTube and people around you are like, come on, get a real job, stop doing this online thing, go work at a factory. Don't worry.
Factory, nice.
Don't worry. We're like the people who are also considered crazy from your circle. So come join us. Come join the inner circle. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a pretty good roundup.
I think so as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
more updates on the next episode as
All
well.
right. Thank you guys so much for watching, listening, subscribing, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.
Yes, bye.